Hi, I'm Bex Partridge of Botanical Tales, and I'm excited to introduce you to the beautiful world of everlasting dried flowers. When it comes to drying flowers, there are a few things that you want to consider to make sure you get those beautiful, long-lasting colours that we're looking for. The easiest way to dry flowers is to hang them upside down in bunches, and when hanging them, you're looking for a space which is out of direct sunlight, somewhere that is moisture free, so not your bathroom, not your kitchen, definitely not a garden shed, and somewhere that has a nice ambient room temperature, so in your house is ideal. The best time to pick flowers to dry is on a bright sunny day when there's no dew on the blooms. So you don't want to pick them in the heat of the day, probably early morning or late in the evening. And you're also looking for flowers that for the most part are in full bloom. To prepare your flowers to hang out to dry, you want to strip all unwanted leaves from the stem of the flowers. The leaves not only look unsightly, but they can also make them go mouldy if they're bunched too closely together. So it's a good idea to strip all of the leaves from the stems. And then you want to hang the flowers out in bunches of 5 to 10. And I just use some lengths of twine wrapped around the base of the stem a couple of times and then pulled in a knot. And then you can hang them by just making a little loop at the top like this. There are a few varieties of flowers where you'll need to do things differently to make sure you get them really nice and dry. One of them is dahlias. So dahlias are really fleshy blooms, so they shouldn't be hung in bunches. If they are, their heads can kind of lean into one another and squash. So instead you want to hang them individually, and a tip that I have is to take a paper clip, unfold it, and then using the bigger end you can poke it through the stem of the dahlia and you can hang it out to dry like this. And then the second one is hydrangeas, which can be a bit fussy when they're dried. So I found the best way to dry them is to just gather your big heads and sort of September, October time, the best time to cut them. They'll be feeling a little papery, and just sit them in a jug with a little bit of water at the bottom and allow them to dry out naturally in the warmth of your home.